What's up, everyone? I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna be doing something a little different from video games. I'm not even gonna lie. Today I'm gonna be ranking all the MCU shows. It's gonna be Disney Plus and pre-Disney Plus. So before I even start, the shows I haven't watched, so I'm not even gonna put them on this ranking, is like Hellstorm, The Gifted, Powers, Inhuman, Secret Invasion, and the two important ones I say I haven't watched is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter. But besides that, I've seen everything else, and I didn't know if I should count animated series like What If, or if I should just keep it separate and do like an animated show Marvel ranking. It is kind of tied to the MCU, so I thought I would add that in, and might as well add the new Spider-Man cartoon because it is parallel to the MCU in a way. And yeah, no X-Men 97 because it's not really tied into the MCU as of right now. And yeah, so with that being said, there's 20 shows total that I'm ranking, and remember, this is my opinions. Leave your rankings in the comments. Disagree, agree, just talk it out. But we're just gonna start off with the basura fucking She-Hulk. Honestly, I like She-Hulk as how it was structured. It feels really like a show compared to the other ones. It feels like a really long movie, and I don't know, the last episode just really throws off the entire show. Like her, I don't know if anyone wants me to spoil it. I'm trying not to be spoiler heavy, but man, she just ruins the entire show at the end. It lacked a true villain too. There's no real villain in the show. Her acting of being really cocky as She-Hulk, just like, it makes me shake my head. It's not really that funny. She's not really too funny, but it's like still watchable. Until the last episode, it's kind of like all over the place. Daredevil as a cameo was good, but just not enough to save the show or place it higher. I feel like she would work as a supporting role, an antagonist like Bruce or Hawkeye, etc. Yeah, I think she wouldn't be dead last if probably I watched Secret Invasions, but I didn't. So, and then we're going to 19, and I kind of have to say, after this, I kind of like all the shows. These shows though are just really forgettable. And at 19 we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Honestly, I like this show a lot, but it's just very forgettable. All I can remember is Zemo dancing at the club, or dancing in some lights, I think. Yeah, I didn't really get why Falcon accepted the shield just to like say no later. Just say no to begin with if you're not that interested in the shield at all. If you don't think you could live up to the name, then don't take it. I don't get what was the point of doing all that. Basically, yeah, it's not a bad show. I like the fight scenes when they were like on the moving truck or something. John Walker, he's all right, but I don't really like him, like his character. Not even saying the actor, it's just the character himself I don't really like. So yeah, it's not too interesting of a show in my opinion. But at number 18 we got What If, and What If has really strong episodes. I feel like if the episodes from all 3 seasons, the strongest ones were in one season, it'd be a lot higher. It's just there's so many what ifs that are just so like random. There isn't really a main character at all besides, you could say, the Watcher, but I don't really want to see a show about the Watcher seeing a bunch of alternate stories, and then like, I don't know, it just doesn't hold any weight. It's not as cool as it could be. They're supposed to be what if stories, and they kind of like, what if Ultron's lights were blue instead of red? I don't know, some of the what ifs are just not, a lot of them actually are not that interesting. And yeah, at number 17 we got Agatha All Along, and it was just a waste of time for me. This show looked very cheap. I don't really care about the like twist. I don't know, I just fell asleep at times. It's just a really slow show for me. I'm not really into witches or magic, so I don't know, it's not a bad show, it's just not my taste. I'm not, yeah. So at number 16 we have Moon Knight. I really wanted to like this show, man, but how they display the story, the Power Ranger ending fight, it just weakens the show. The costumes are amazing, one of the coolest. Like his suit one is probably my favorite. But again, it just felt like the actor and the suit he was wearing was the only cool thing about the show. They added like a new original character that isn't really all that interesting, and I don't know, they could have done a lot better with Moon Knight. So coming in at number 15, all these shows I'd recommend at least watching once. So if you haven't seen any of these, I'd recommend at least watching them one time. And number 15, we have Echo. Now, honestly, Echo was kind of like, this was back, I feel like in 2021, 2022, where they were just giving random characters their own shows, like Ironheart, Agatha, She-Hulk, Echo. All these shows got their own thing, and honestly, I think Echo's gonna be the best. I know Ironheart hasn't came out yet, but honestly, I don't think it's passing Echo. But yeah, talking about the show itself, Echo, she's really cool, really interesting. The actor herself has only played 2 roles, Hawkeye and Echo, so it's really cool how like this is her first role and she really fits naturally into acting. I don't know how else to say. Show wise, they bring this Fisk brings this tech, and it's like really dope where they could communicate with each other one-on-one. Since she is deaf, she can't hear, and yeah, Kingpin does not know how to do sign language, so they could like talk to each other. It's actually really cool. And Daredevil shows up too, and it's absolutely awesome. It's like a one-shot fight with her and Echo, and I mean him and Echo. God damn, I'm getting cooked. But I felt like, yeah, this show was pretty good. The ending was alright. I didn't really like her powers, but I mean it's still worth it. Still worth watching, and it fits nicely. So at number 14, we got Hawkeye. Now, this one is nice because, I mean, Hawkeye deserves to get his own project. Although it's more of a bridge to Kate being the next Hawkeye, it's still awesome to see. The swordsman character is dope. Fisk ending, it leads to Echo, so it's like, whatever. Not the worst. It tied into Echo, yeah. Like I said, it ties into Echo pretty much really nicely. I recommend watching those shows together if you haven't. It isn't the best, but it is a good enough story. The action is there. The locations are really nice, Christmassy vibe, and it's a really good show overall. Number 13, we got The Runaways. Now, actually making this list, I'm surprised how far it got up. It's a really weird show, and it's a Hulu MCU show, and it stars 6 kids that figure out their parents are villains. They run an organization called the Pride. So like, I don't want to spoil it too much because I know a lot of people haven't seen it, but story wise, casting wise, location wise, it's pretty awesome. It's set in LA, more of like an LA vibe. Where this show falls flat is the budget. CGI, like, it's really bad. Really bad. Like, one of the characters is connected to a literal dinosaur. That's one of her powers, and near the end of the show, they show her controlling the dinosaur and getting like her eyes go in the dinosaur's eyes, and she's like seeing through the dinosaur. But it just looks really bad, and they don't ever bring it up or use it again. They just show it in like season 3 episode 2, and it's like the season ended and they never bring it up again. It's just like non-existent. So yeah, and then that too, they kind of like nerf the heroes, I guess. Like, the dinosaur's knocked out, so you can't go, and then it's just like, it's a little too much, or you could just tell the budget wasn't there. But it's for sure worth watching. Be sure to watch Cloak and Dagger too. It's gonna come up right now on this list actually. But yeah, watch Cloak and Dagger first, and then watch Runaways if you haven't watched either. But now we're at number 12, and number 12 we have Miss Marvel. And at first I wasn't sure if I was even gonna like this show. It felt very kiddish. It was kind of like Agatha, where it's not really my thing. It could be good, it's just not my thing. But the main character is actually funny, and she's a blast to watch. She gives me like a Ryan Reynolds, Shia LaBeouf type of vibe, where it's not like, not comedy wise, but like how they act. Like, anything they do is funny. They could bop someone on the nose and it's just funny. Like, I don't really know what else to say. It's really good casting. There's like this time travel, back in time section of the show I'm not really a fan of, so I don't really know what to say about that. I heard it was made by a different director. I'm not too sure, but the first episodes are really strong. I can't remember the last episode too much, besides her, like, I think saving someone. But yeah, it does really well with like the movie too, Miss Marvels, or the Marvels, whatever. So yeah, it's a pretty good show. I recommend watching it, and she's considered the first mutant of the MCU too, so that's cool. Number 11, we got The Punisher. Now, The Punisher's first season is honestly one of my favorites, but the second one is good, but the thing about the second one, it's like the villain is so bad, bro. The villain be on screen for like 12 minutes yapping about nothing, bro. He's like, my vengeance has consumed me. The darkness above shall rise and prosper against all. And I don't give a like, bro, honestly, that villain put me to sleep, bro. I did not like that villain at all. And basically the second season, without spoiling too much, Frank just runs into a girl that is getting chased, and he fights them off, and it's because this girl has pictures, and it's just like they're chasing her down for these pictures that could ruin someone's life, and they're trying to kill her for it. It's just a whole lot of randomness. It's just not my favorite, and it really does pull the show down because the first season was so good. I don't know, the second season just felt like 2-3 stories combined in one, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, at number 10, I gotta put the new Daredevil Born Again, and I haven't seen all of it. I've seen up to episode 6. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but story wise and plot wise, it's amazing. I like it. Don't really have nothing to say about that. I mainly have a problem with like this shaky camera at times. They're just talking and the camera is shaking like it's just being held by a phone, like someone's just holding up a phone, and it just feels really awkward sometimes. Like green screen sunsets, the wonky CGI when he runs on the rooftops. I don't know, this ranking will probably change by like season 2 when it comes out, but as of right now, it's better than most Disney Plus shows. It's better than most, but it's not up there right now. All right, and at number 9 we have WandaVision. Now at first, honestly, the first 2 episodes I didn't really understand the show or really care. It was so uninteresting, but like as you sat down, I just binged the show because all the episodes came out, and I was like, you know what, I was gonna watch it all. And I just think the first problem is those 2 episodes. I wasn't a fan of the black and white, and I think even the 3rd episode has black and white, but it's just better, more interesting. And visually, I think when you're trying to like capture someone or anybody, it's got to be interesting in the beginning. Like Daredevil Born Again's intro, fire, one of the best intros. WandaVision's it's like the opposite. Like the boring stuff happens, then the good stuff, and then the ending too with 2 visions. It's kind of like weird, but I mean, I don't know. The show is just really good though when you really like actually watch the whole thing and see like Wanda's perception, her power, her abilities to like do all this without her even being aware. It's like kind of insane. So I give that show props. It's really trippy, not too trippy, but it's cool. I like it. And Agatha as an antagonist or a side character was way better than her having her own show, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. Me being honest right there. Now, number 8, we have Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is probably considered to be the worst Netflix MCU show. People say it's the worst MCU show. No, I don't, bro. That's cap. But if I'm being real, the first season, you could see the lack of budget and training and fights, but the story is really good. The character buildup is insane because you really do not like some of the characters in season 1, and you really like some of the characters in season 1. But by the time you get season 2, it just flips on its head and it feels natural. It kind of makes sense. It's like, but I don't know. Season 1 is all right in my opinion. Season 2 it's better because it kind of shows everyone's true intentions. Besides Iron Fist, he's always kept it real. He's always been like, what's up, you got a problem with me, let's solve it. And yeah, Iron Fist, he actually wants to be a hero. If you watch the other Netflix shows, they kind of like, I'm not trying to be a hero, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, man, bro, you a hero. Like that's it, bro. Embrace it. And Iron Fist does. He really does. So if this show had a better budget, more time, I think it would be awesome. So I'd be happy to see Iron Fist and Colleen back in the MCU, like in Daredevil Born Again. I don't know. Just recommend watching this show. It's really cool. Ties into the MCU. Yeah. So we're at number 7, and I don't think this one could just go any further just because it's an animated show and it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, this show is amazing. I have no real complaints about it. It's just like when you're ranking shows, some hold more weight to others. I don't want to spoil the first season of that show, but there's a ton of parallels to the MCU, and it's honestly awesome. If you're not a cartoon fan, I'd say to give this one a chance, specifically if you like Civil War too. It has a lot of like Civil War references, similarities. Kind of Spider-Man characters are involved. Like, imagine the MCU with Spider-Man characters. That's just what it is, and I think it's pretty good. So now we hit top 6, and I think all these shows are worth rewatching at least multiple times. At least watch them multiple times, in my opinion. So number 6, we have Cloak and Dagger. Now this show is awesome. It has little ties in to Luke Cage. I think they have a picture of Luke Cage. They have a crossover with the Runaways, and the way they explore their powers is honestly awesome. Cool how they meet each other. They don't really like are cool with each other. They're like, like, are you following me? But he kind of just spawned in front of her. It was like this weird thing on how they met again. The budget does show like Runaways, but the CGI does actually look not that bad. The black smoke Cloak emits is pretty good. It looks pretty nice. I know a lot of people haven't seen this one, so I just suggest watching this and the Runaways. And I mean, Luke Cage and Cloak and Dagger connect. Luke Cage connects to Daredevil. Daredevil connects to the MCU. So people say those shows aren't connected to the MCU, but they're all connected, really. So I'd say give this one a chance. Now, number 5, we got Loki. This is by far, I think, there's not even, it's miles ahead of anything Disney Plus has ever dropped. Like, the fact Kang isn't a big factor too, and it's at number 5 is crazy. That's honestly what hurts the show for me. The fact Kang is not in the next Avengers movie, because we know it was going to be called Kang Dynasty. So the fact that he's not in it, it just hurts the show. But I mean, bro, it's still a top 5 show. I'm not even gonna lie, it's still the best Disney Plus show. The TVA was interesting. It's the trippiest Marvel show ever. Trippiest, I mean, you could say Project. Doctor Strange was pretty trippy, but I think Loki is even more trippier. Deadass. Loki's a really good show. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's watched it, but if you haven't, recommend it. Kang was pretty awesome as a villain. Just sucks he's not more of a bigger role besides this and Ant-Man, but yeah. So number 4, we got Luke Cage, and this show is just overall awesome. It gives the world of the MCU more depth with people like Shades and Bushmaster lurking around in the background. We don't know where they're at. The first season of Luke Cage references Iron Man a lot. They mention Tony himself. They say his name, and the what's his name? Justin Hammer. His tech, Hammer Tech. The main villain, I think, is Battlehawk or Diamondback or something. Diamondback. He's pretty much using Hammer Tech, and I mean, it looks goofy. I'm not even gonna lie. The suit does look goofy, but it's just so cool how they're like the Iron Man references and all that. And I don't know, it just ties in really well to the MCU. They even asked like, who's stronger? They asked Luke Cage, who's stronger, you or the big green guy? Like, I like that. They have a lot of references to each other. The MCU, and even the other shows. You meet him in Jessica Jones, so yeah. Now, at number 3, we got the Defenders, and if I'm being honest, this is like all biased on me, bro. This is one of the best shows ever if you watch it in the order you're supposed to watch it. You're supposed to watch Daredevil Season 1, 2, Jessica Jones Season 1, Luke Cage Season 1, Iron Fist Season 1, and then Defenders. And man, it's awesome. Like, it's one of the best build-ups. I mean, it's a lower stakes, so it doesn't compete with the MCU's build-up to Infinity War and all that, but it was still a really nice build-up, man. Like, I liked it. The villains were lacking, yeah, but the way the characters bounce off each other. I mean, you got Karen and Trish, Patsy fucking talking, Luke Cage being surprised Daredevil could hear Neon. Like, this show got it all. Misty Knight, she protects, I think, Claire from getting her neck cut. and puts her arm in front of it, gets her arm chopped off. So like side characters are literally protecting side characters, and then another side character and Iron Fist, they give her a robotic arm. So like everyone helps each other, and even though they're on different shows, really awesome. Defenders is just an awesome show. Love seeing everyone, a lot of the main characters, side characters, Malcolm. The only person that didn't show up in Defenders was Punisher, and that was a really big L, but besides that, I'm good with it. Now at number 2, we got Jessica Jones, and there's 3 seasons of Jessica Jones. The first 2 are alright. No, not the first 2. The last 2 are alright. What really holds up the show so high is the first season and the villain Kilgrave. Like, Kilgrave is probably the best live action villain I've ever seen, bro. His powers is just to tell you what to do, and you do. He says, bro, stand there forever, and you will stand there for about 12 hours. I don't think his mind control goes past that. But with those type of powers, bro, that's insane, bro. He told some guy, keep bashing your head into a pole, and bro was just doing it, and everyone was looking around like, what? He told the whole police station, point a gun in your head, point a gun in your mouth, point a gun at your partner. It's like, bro, he has so much power, and it's wild. We never seen him again. I mean, you see him in Jessica Jones like as like a ghost, like the actor comes back and plays him like in the background, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like they should have just somehow let Kilgrave live, because he's a crazy villain. He's really awesome, and honestly better than Thanos or Fisk, in my opinion. Like Thanos is thinking about saving the world, Fisk over here thinking about making the city great. Bro, this guy will tell you to jump off a building, bro. He's a villain, bro. He's a real villain. And we all know what's at number 1. It's Netflix Daredevil. I mean, this show just does it so well. The lengths of the seasons are good. I mean, 13 episodes is not too long. It's not too short. I mean, a lot of problems with these shows is that they're just so short, and they cut out a lot of filler that just helps the MCU grow, but it's not something where it like overdoes it like in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because there's like 7 seasons, 26 episodes a season, and they're 50 minutes each. That's like watching the entire Netflix MCU shows all at once. Like, dude, that's ridiculous. So Daredevil does it really good. It has 3 seasons. They all feel really different. One's like more of an origin story, getting into Daredevil, how he got the mask, and all, you know, he meets a guy who makes a suit for him, etc. Second season, he's fighting alongside Elektra, who was like recruiting him, basically trying to break him, manipulate him, but he's a simp, so he loves her. And yeah, it goes on in the Defenders too. His story and Elektra's pretty awesome. And then season 3, the big final bang, where like, I mean, Bullseye was pretty much repping Daredevil. He was wearing his fit and making Daredevil look bad, man. Like killing people and just being all sorts of villain type shit. And honestly, I love Daredevil. Netflix, it's honestly one of the best shows I've ever seen, like anywhere. Like, it's a really good show. Even if it wasn't connected to the MCU, I think it would still be one of my favorite shows. Just hands down made really well. There's no unnecessary CGI, like no high budget. It's a low budget show. It's good. The fights are awesome. The one takes, everything about this show, man. Just yeah, that's about it. I'm planning to remake this in the future when like Wonder Man and Ironheart come out, and by the time those come out, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna finish Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I'm gonna start watching that like today probably. Like, I'm gonna start it. I know it's connected to the MCU. And then Agent Carter, I think I'm gonna watch too. So I don't know, maybe there will be another show, so it'll be like a 25. I don't know. I could watch Inhumans because I know Inhumans connects to fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. connects to the MCU, so it's technically canon. Hellstorm mentions Sokovia Accord, so it's technically canon, I guess. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a ton of shows I haven't watched. I know Legion and Powers and that I don't think is related to the MCU, but leave your rankings down below. Feel free to add Secretive Agents, Agent Carter, etc. If you guys seen all those shows, add it in your comments. Besides that, peace out and have a good one.